Hi everyone, Marika here with another coloring and card tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to do some clean and simple cards, but this card is all about the coloring, so I'm starting with the coloring and putting the card piece at the end. So let's get started. The image I'm using today is the Make It Crafty image, Bailey Blowing Kisses. That was a hard one. And I have printed her on some Make It Crafty blending cardstock, linked in the description down below. And I have printed her with my pixel printer on a 25% opacity. So I have it's black lines that I've pulled down to 25%, so you get kind of light gray. They're actually a little bit lighter in real life than they are here on the screen. And so I'm doing sort of no lines. They're a little bit too dark to be called no lines, but they're light enough to mostly be hidden by the ink. So when you do a no line coloring, you really want to make sure that all of the lines are delimited by shadows in some shape or form. Really, what is building up the character is the color and not so much the lines. So what I started first was I went in with my E000 to kind of block out the shadows, figuring out where I wanted to have the shadows, and then when I decided where they were, I went in with the E04 with just smudging a little E04 here and there, and then blending that out again with E11, E21 and E00 and then E000 at the end. This is my favorite color combination. I love using multiple pens for skin because for me, when I'm doing a humanoid character, the skin is what is important, and I really put my time and effort really at the skin and the faces, because that is what is for me is pulling me into characters. Another thing I've done with this, because I wanted the image to be kind of soft, last year I think it was, or 2017 maybe even, I did a little bit of a series where I made kind of storybook-esque characters with polychromos, or it was more a series of videos showcasing how I colored one image. Anyhow, I really like the result of that, but here I'm trying to kind of mimic that result but with Copics to make it much softer, but still pop. But at the same time, I love really bright pink, which you actually can see sometimes because my head actually came into the image a couple of times there, and I have pink hair and I wanted her to have pink hair, so to kind of counteract it, to keep her still soft even though she has this really bright strong hair, I have gone with a natural neutral color scheme for the rest of her. So I'm using E40s, which if you've been here for a while know that these are my absolute favorite browns and I have used them in so many characters, and I continue to use them because I really love them. I really love them because you can pair them with most any kind of colors because it's such a neutral color. And then I'm gonna pair that with some grays. I'm using the toner grays today because I very often feel that the warm grays are a little bit too vintagey for me, and the cool grays are a little bit too hard. So I usually choose between the neutrals and the toners, and today I felt that the toner actually goes a little bit better with my RV combination, and that is why I have chosen to go with the toners this time around. Also, I have decided not to make her shirt and skirt edge and everything white. They are colored to be grey, very light grey, but grey. So there was kind of a decision from my side. I just felt I needed to have that little more darkness. I felt that the white wouldn't contrast with the rest of it. And the pink is so strong, so it actually pushes back the grey a little bit, so when you actually are looking at it, it looks a lot more white-ish than it would if you would have paired it with a lighter color. So yeah. Then we have her shoes and socks are going in the pink. So I'm doing 2 pink combinations with almost the same pens. I started off here with the RV21, which is going to be colored over completely on a later stage. But because Copics are a little bit opaque, I wouldn't have gotten the exact same result if I had left that out. So just a tip. Then I did the RV29 as the darkest, then the 25, and then I finish off with the RV13 and blending everything out and just coloring over that 21. It gives it a little bit more depth than if I would have colored just straight over white. And then I'm going to do her kind of very spunky hair. I really liked it. I did one image, which you will see at the end of the video because I'm making 2 cards in this video, but I did her with kind of straight hair and I wasn't as happy with it. I'm still very happy with these images, but I kind of felt I really want to try and see if I can make this look a little bit more curly. So where it looks a little bit straight on the image, I have made very small dots, even to the grade that they're actually very small squigglies, to kind of make it look like her hair is super curly in these like teeny tiny curls. And then for the bigger parts, the bigger balls, I'm going in and doing a dotting technique, and doing small dots, which I then later go in and add white dots to, and then glitter stars, so it looks like her hair is glittery because I just went bananas. You know, sometimes that happens. This is actually the first image that I'm coloring in 2019 and in 3 months. So this is the second because I did the other girl before I did this one, but yeah, it's the first kind of image that I'm coloring in 3 months. I have really not been coloring at all, so I had a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more images and just having so much fun. I'm doing a couple of layers with the dots because I really wanted to build it up. One thing is the RV10 that I'm using as the lightest, I'm actually going over the whole image with that at several points. And the reason for doing that is that will push the ink a little bit deeper, so it will lighten it all a little bit, but it will also soften all of these little teeny tiny dots and not make them look so dotty and more like a texture, and that was what I was after. So I do that, and then when it dries, it's kind of soften up. And then I'm going in with my little pen here. I think this is the number 05. I have the 05, 08 and 010. So I'm going in with the 05 for all the dots, and then I think I changed pen for these little glittery stars, making the hair look like it's glittery. But yeah, that was the coloring. Now to the cards. I'm going to use papers from this paper pattern pack called Puns. And it is by Doodlebug Designs. Lots of puns, that's the word. And these are the 2 first. I'm cutting out small hearts from this Fawn stitchable hearts dies, and then I also wanted a little bit strip of this very soft textured one from the same pattern paper pack. I'm cutting this down to 2 1/8 by 5.5, so that I have a strip that goes down just precisely in the middle of the cardstock, basically dividing my card base, which is an A2 card base, in 2. So this is my card bases. It's done from Nina, and I'm kind of zooming out all the time on this footage because my lens just started falling down. I don't know what's happening with it. I'm hoping that it's just that hasn't been used in a while. Otherwise I need to buy a new one, and I'm not really looking forward to doing that. But anyhow, this is going to be a portrait card, so I'm adding this one, realizing that this strip is a little bit too short to this base. However, the bases aren't 100% the same size, so I just tried with the other base that I picked out and it fit perfectly. So a tip, if you make multiple card bases like this, sometimes they aren't the same size, so you can always, if the piece looks a little bit short, try with the other one. It worked fine. And then I'm using some more of that funky tape liner by Tonic, and centering this card. Again, I'm sorry, it's the lens that actually are gliding down, and that was the issue why you couldn't see that. But yeah, so I put it just straight in the middle. I'm using the stamp set, which is called Love Stamps and Cut by Hero Arts. I'm stamping it in some Lawn Fawn Flamingo ink. I really love this color. It's super bright and super pink. Just a simple small sentiment. I have added some foam tape from one of these really big foam rolls to on the back side of her, making sure that all the little parts that are sticking out that I have cut out have small sticky pieces on them too, so they don't fall off. And that is the first card that I made. So now we're going to go into the second, and this is going to be in landscape mode. And I'm going to put her up to the left side, and then I'm going to have a bigger sentiment on the right side. I'm going to use this love sentiment, and I am using bubblegum ink by My Favorite Things. However, that is retired, but there's a lot of really bright light inks out there. You could probably find someone that fits, but this is a very, very light pink ink. I think sponge sugar probably might work, especially if you don't mind it to be a little bit blotchy. And then I'm going in again with the Flamingo ink. I'm offsetting this a little bit up and a little bit to the right, giving it a little bit of a 3D effect. A little bit more of that tape behind the other little cardstock piece. Again, I'm trying to just put it up by their heads to kind of offset her from the heart, and that gives the card just a little bit more dimension. And then I realized it was so dotty, that love, that it was so easy just adding a couple of those little glittery stars, and it looks like the love is glittered too. So I went on with a little bit of a bigger pen here, because I realized that little one that I was using, the 5-1, was a little bit too little, so I think that was an 8. But yeah, that is the cards for today. I hope you like this video. If you do, please thumbs it up, it means a lot to me. If you have any question, just comment down below. Down below you find all the supplies and everything. You can also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this. There should be a little bell button also if you want to be updated when I'm posting my videos. But yes, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!